Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Kickin' Bass TV. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you how you can catch multiple species of fish using this one tiny bait, whether you're on the open water or out on the ice. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below. Let's go. All right, guys, so whether it's open water season or it's the middle of winter and you're out on the ice like we are today, there's one bait you've seen us use year round, and that's our 1/2-inch artificial wax worm. You can use these to catch everything from panfish to trout to nice big bass like this one here. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you some of the custom color options we have available so that you can perfectly pair these with your ice jig of choice and how we turn this into this. It all starts with our mold, which is a 60 cavity CNC machine aluminum mold. The reason we use aluminum molds is to get that perfect finish on all of our baits. We've got our injector ready to go. What we're gonna do is go ahead and close that mold up, get it clamped tight. We've got some pink plastic with some color shift powder pigment in it today. We're gonna start off with that, get it up to about 330 degrees. Once we got it up to temp, we are good to go. We're gonna fill that mold nice and slow so that all those cavities fill evenly. We're gonna top it off a little bit there and then just put the remainder back in the cup to be used later. After just a couple minutes to allow that plastic to cool, allow those baits to set up in the mold, just like that, we've got 60 individual waxies that you can now use to target multiple species of fish. We've got a ton of custom color options, so you have something to match all your different color ice jigs. We've got that nice natural larva color, which is great for bluegill. We've got some transparent and more bold reds, which bass and perch absolutely love. And our chartreuse has been catching everything under the sun lately on a micro jig or Simcoe bug. This morning, my cousin and I both got up nice and early so we could try to get out on some of that newly formed front range ice, trying to get on some warm water species today. And as you can see, before the sun was even out, we were already getting into schools of sunfish and bluegill, both of which were consistently hitting that chartreuse Simcoe bug with our custom 1/2-inch chartreuse waxy. After that, we ended up getting into a handful of these little perch, although nothing really worth keeping. A couple of decent white crappie, and then my cousin caught about a 3.5-pound largemouth, all of which were caught on that chartreuse Simcoe bug. So just goes to show the versatility of that one basic presentation. If you've been following the channel long enough, you already know how we talk about the effectiveness of using red baits. And as you can see, we've got a couple red waxies on a micro jig. This is probably my #1 go-to bait when it comes to targeting bass or perch through the ice, because red is a big trigger color for them, as we talked about previously. It's also #1 producer for me in the hard water season. I've caught multiple bass over the 5-pound range and everything else under the sun, from carp, catfish, bluegills, sunfish, crappie, you name it. And although a lot of people say you got to have a bigger bait to catch bigger bass, in the wintertime, we know they're super lethargic. They're not willing to give chase to a lot of those moving baits unless it's really worth it for them. So a lot of times this downsized presentation is exactly what the situation calls for. And as you can see today, caught not 1, but 3 bass all over the 5-pound range. This last one almost tipping 6-pound mark. Here we've got a nice rainbow trout that we caught on that chartreuse waxy, but a little bit different profile here. Instead of that single wax worm on the Simcoe, we're gonna use an Acme rattle jig and use 2 wax worms to create sort of a tail effect on the bait, which will add some secondary action in the water column. And whether you're dead sticking or subtly jigging that bait, sometimes it's just all you need to trigger a strike. And that's gonna do it for today's video. Do me a favor, hit that like button down below if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification if you wanna get your hands on some custom artificial wax worms. Click the link in the video description, head over to our Instagram and place an order. We've got a ton of different options for scents, like the new panfish candy from our friends over at Old Salt Angling, that will absolutely help you catch more fish. So till next time, I'm D with Kickin' Bass TV.
Subscribe.